Hi guys, it's Mary, Queen MLV, July 14th, 2020, and it's Tuesday. Um, this should not take much time. I'm just exhausted, but I know that I'm not alone in this. I know I'm not the only one who is having trouble keeping track of time, even days. Um, so I won't whinge about that, but, my current problem is lighting. I've got, this room lights up really well. I've got two huge lights in it, but the chandelier up here, remember this is my dining room, the chandelier up here is very bright, and I don't think it was an issue last week, but I could be wrong. It was when I turned my camera on, it was haloing behind my head so badly that I was in silhouette, and so, it is early in the morning. And so I had to raise my computer up, and anyway, that's my current problem. Things could be worse. COVID is getting closer and closer every week. Every week we know someone closer to our circle who has died. And of course, that's frightening and disturbing to me, which kind of leads to the tiredness and other issues, I'm sure. So anyway, work is going well. I am employed. I am grateful for that. I am healthy. I'm grateful for that. Um, my kids are healthy, and their problems are, my oldest is taking her medical boards at the end of the month, and she's trying to study and get through that while not leaving the house for breaks. And the youngest one is starting grad school in the fall if school starts. So they're more worried about their education, which I'm not, because if they lose a semester, um, they'll be okay. They won't like it, but it'll be okay. Anyway, basically, I worked on designing some things this week. Nothing new. For instance, my puppies. I think last week I had over 80 sections I was trying to connect. I started with probably 200, and because what happens is you draw something, and not each piece of it, but it comes out in sections, because maybe you can draw 3 or 4 sections and then you hit a dead end. Maybe you can draw one, maybe you can draw 10 that come together to make your picture, and then because you don't want it overstitching any more than necessary. So otherwise, in order to start on one side, draw a complicated pattern, and end on the other, you would be backstitching over your prior stitches a lot. So my method, I've never learned how to do this another way. My method is you draw the whole thing on there in as many pieces as you need, and then you go back and you connect them. Well, not only do they have to be connected in an orderly order, or I don't care if it stitches this piece, then this piece, then this piece. I don't care about that. But again, you get into the overstitching. So I went from hundreds of sections down to connecting. I think I had 80 some last week, and I have 40 some this week. So I've done 40 in a week, which on the one hand is progress, on the other, not really, but I haven't also spent much time on it. So, but what happens with me is that I'm connecting the obvious and easy ones and leaving the hard ones to the end. So when I grab 15 minutes to work on it, I can sometimes only connect 3 pieces, because I have to rework them, decide where I want the overstitching, and at the end of the day, hopefully soon, it'll start on one side, stitch the entire thing, and end on the other, so that you can connect them to make an edge to edge. So anyway, I did work on that. It's boring. I showed it to you last week. I still love the design. I did get some gorgeous puppy fabric in, which I will show you at the end. I'll take a picture of that for you. So it was fun. It was productive, but nothing new. I don't have anything new. The other thing I worked on was my 2020 friendship swap. I showed this to you guys where I designed these cards and then I put them together. This was to take to the fabric store, so I didn't care about this. I designed 6 of them around a 5-point star, and I know that that's wonky, but there's a reason. And then that means that there are, I numbered them. When I do the one for the friendship swap, there will be, it's going to be from my scraps, and there are 21 different pieces in this one, 21 different fabrics times 6 before the star. So I was looking at fabric, and I ended up driving to Lafayette. That's a town that's about an hour from here. I drove there Tuesday for work, and it's the first time I've really been more than to the Baton Rouge suburbs since, well, certainly since we shut down in March, but I haven't been anywhere since probably last summer with the shop hops. I went all over the state, but I just don't travel like I used to. And so it was just, I had my audiobook on. It was first thing in the morning, so there was no traffic. And I got there, and they don't have a mask mandate. So first thing I noticed, I was very surprised that when I got to town, I love that little town. I have relatives there. First thing I noticed was nobody's wearing masks. What's the deal? And anyway, I wasn't there long, but the place I needed to go for a few hours for work was 3 miles from my favorite quilt shop in that area. So I stopped by, and they were fabulous. Big shop, 3 of us. We never got anywhere close to each other. They were both wearing masks. They were just delightful ladies, as always. And so I picked up a couple things. One is I got the background that I want to use for my friendship swap, and it's this grunge. Nothing too exciting. It's a purple and blue grunge, and that's what I'm going to put all of my crazy scraps on. I'm also making one of these for me. It'll be a little bigger, and all of the pieces on it, instead of being different, will be reds, not really pinks, but reds and light reds, and maybe some creams. And I'm going to put them on this batik background. So it'll be just a little less scrappy, a little less friendshipy, a little more formal. So I got that done, and I'm excited about that. So I don't even want to start cutting because I'm going to applique this on my long arm, and so there's really nothing to do until she's free. And I still can't get over there. Thought I could on Saturday, but I spent the entire day with my brother working on the house renovation stuff. We went shopping, and we ordered counters, which took hours. I got my stove, which I'm really excited about, which took hours, and then the day was gone. And then Sunday, I mostly slept the entire day. I lost kind of the whole day, didn't get one darn thing done. Anyway, I am working. I don't know if I told you. I think someone else here is doing that. It's the Grids Girls, who is Deb Heatherly at Creative Grids, whatever. She has her Facebook page. It's called Grids Girls. And in that challenge, we just got clue 6 of 8, coming along really nicely. I showed you what I did last week. Well, the clues are on Tuesdays, and this one is easy peasy. It's just a block 4 times, 2 pieces, 1 stitching per block 4 times. That's our clue for this week, and that's good. It's going to give some people an opportunity to get caught up. what it's going to give me is an opportunity to get a little behind, because I'm not going to do those 4 blocks until I'm stripping, piecing something else. But they'll get done before Tuesday. Anyway, last Tuesday's clue came out after I did my video, and I'll show you that put together. I'm happy with it, but well, here's what happened. This has a center block to it, unlike a lot of her quilts that are not. So we have finished the center block. So I did my center block and was very happy with it, and slapped it up on my design wall. And also last week we did some additional four strips. They're they're jelly rolls, but I cut my own. So 4 jelly roll strips sewed together in pairs. So I have those, and my center. It's just a lap quilt, and you can expand it to a queen. I don't know which I'm going to do yet. That decision doesn't need to be made yet. So I finished my center, finished my strips, slapped them up on my design wall, and took a picture and posted them. And I was on with my day, got all this done before work, and was happy. I didn't make the whole block. We had made the components of it. I just sewed it together, sewed my strips together, ready to go to work. Take my picture, post it. And somebody said something odd. It was like, are you going to fix the problem? And I'm like, there's a problem? So I looked at it, and I really couldn't figure out what the problem was for a little while. And I looked at a couple other people's. Well, I have the very center of it is 4 blocks pieced together. Well, I have them oriented wrong. So I like mine. They're suggesting that I rip them apart, turn them all, and sew them back together, which will definitely change the look of it. Now, and what I told them was I'm not going to do that until we get past this border I just put on it. Because, and they're like, they're going to wish you had changed that now and not later. No, well, not if I don't change it at all. So if what happens outside of this border creates a pattern that's going on to this center, then yeah, I need to flip them. If not, I like mine. So anyway, here's a picture of what I'm talking about, so you can know what the heck's going on. And that was a kind of productive morning, and again, I'm happy with it. Okay, during the commercial, I did grab my puppy fabric because I want to show you this. Got this at Spoonflower. I've been hesitant to quote with the Spoonflower designs, except a woman that I really, really respect in Germany did just this gorgeous panel out of there, and I just had to have it. And everybody asked her about the quality and how it quilts and all that kind of stuff. Well, they do. Quiltflower does have more fabric options to print onto, and so I did not only get that panel that I'm going to show you pretty soon, but these are my poppies. Aren't they pretty? So, then the other one thing that I did was I showed you my Fishy, right? And that's, while I was in the quilt shop in Lafayette, they said, what you making? Because I was picking out all these beautiful fabrics. And I said, well, I'm doing things backwards, because you know how you design a quilt and then you piece the quilt and then you decide what to quilt on it. Well, I started backwards, and I didn't realize that I needed a fish quilt. Never thought I would. And but we do have a house on an island in the Gulf of Mexico below Louisiana, and in November my brother goes down there for a whole week every year to update his book. That's in his book contract, and it's very, very cold and wet down there. Thanksgiving week always has been, and so he has trouble. This house is well, my parents built it in about over 60 years ago. And it's hard to keep that house warm in the winter. And so I thought, well, that's the place that needs a nice fish quilt with, it's an island that fishes, and put some wool batting in it. And that would help keep, just a throw to help keep him warm. Anyway, so it turns out I need a fish quilt. So I said, I designed this quilting design, and then I'm backing into a quilt I can put it on. So I'm working backwards. So I designed the quilting, and then I decided to make it a tumbler with my AccuQuilt. And so I didn't design it. I stole it off of Pinterest, but but didn't come with the pattern. So I figured out how many of those I need, and then I needed fabric. So they helped me with that. This is all Cafe Bassett and Tula Pink. And so the way this fish quilt is going to work is I'm going to put 3 of these together like this. And you see how it makes a fish? Okay, so I need 100 of these. And because I got 12 fabrics and I'm making 2 of each fabric, it turns into, I have 24 out of 12, 24 out of 100 cut. Now here's what's going to happen. This is water. I got blues and greens for the water. Every other row is going to be water. Every other row is going to be fish all lined up. And so the blues and greens are going to be the water background, basically. And then the others are going to be fish. So that's a background. This one, this is the same fabric. The greens looked like water to me, and the pinks looked like fish to me, so I'm making one of each out of that fabric. And if they're too close together, I'll figure it out. I think that's going to work for me. But, so here's a fish. You don't need to see them all, but you get the idea. Fish, 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 water, water, water. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to use quite a few batiks that I have, particularly in the water. I think a lot of the blue and green batiks look like water to start with. So anyway, I cut all these out, took a minute, and I have about a little less than a quarter of my quilt cut. So I'm hoping to start. I can't really piece them yet. I need to clear one of my design walls so I can get this up there. I can't really piece them yet because I want to be able to move the fish around until I have all my fabrics. So I won't be sewing them together yet, but this week I do plan to get these on the wall so I can choose the rest of my fabric so I can start piecing. And the quilt that's on my long arm, that's being such a long arm hog, I haven't touched in a week. And that was one of my big plans for the week, and it just didn't get done because I'm just so tired. Like, I need to leave for work in about 20 minutes, and I'll come home, take a little nap, have dinner, and I'm done for the day. So hopefully that'll get done, because I'm really hoping to have a little bit of motivation. Because if I go to the island this weekend, I don't have a sewing machine down there, and I don't take a sewing machine down there because it's a break from things, including that, whether I like it or not. Otherwise, I would just go down there and sew for the weekend, and it wouldn't really be an escape from my life. So, but what I hope to do is take a bunch of binding down there and get some of that done, because I'm really behind on it. I'm not making time to do binding. So, I'm hoping I can get that thing quilted and start on the binding this weekend. I'd like to get that to my daughter before her boards. And anyway, that's what I'm up to. Hope everybody had a good week. I hope you have a good week coming up. And I will see you soon. Bye.